Hello, and welcome. I'm Nick, and on this third try I am being heard. And welcome to the latest, brand spanking newest edition of the DooM WAD Travelogue, the show where we say just because it is not a great idea to be going out right now, doesn't mean that we can't still explore new and interesting spaces. We're just doing it in the form of community-built DooM WADs and level packs. Now, let's see if I can remember the spiel from the first time I did it. If you're watching the archive, shh, you don't know about that time. Last week we played a Castle of Eternal Carrot, I believe it was called, which was based on a dream the author had. Just yesterday, it was brought to my attention another WAD with that same pitch that it is based on a dream. I think this one is going to be much shorter. And just called From a Dream. I think this one is much shorter. It was released as sort of like a almost like a sketchbook pack, maybe. I don't know. I haven't looked too much into the whole pack. I've only looked into this one based on a dream because that's the one I care about. Because it's a theme I want to stick with because I really love dreams. Are something that are so like they are personal in a way because they have a certain they're intangible, and they exist with a logic that sort of defies itself, and they defy being captured in like a real life form. They don't really leave artifacts that are not made then secondhand. They don't follow real logic. They don't follow real beats. They change. They bring with them understandings that are fully implicit but also illogical, and they defy being able to exist in like a real way, like in a way that I don't have like the words to even describe how ridiculous they are. But so they are something that are like only exist in a dream. So when somebody says, hey, I remember this dream well enough that I can make, I can draw a picture of it. I can build a level of it. And you can say, hey, walk around in this dream I had. That is so fascinating. And I'm always really impressed by it. And it's something that I love to do. And I'm pretty much always curious to hear people's dreams just because like they fascinate me in their like inherent impossibility. Um, but so but like there's just something about him to just say like, hey, here's this dream I had. You get to experience basically a dream that's been ported to real life, but that means I get to experience it, and we get to see this window into somebody else's dream, which is so hard, so impossible. Like sometimes you have to wait for a dream that is like sensible enough and strong enough that you can make something out of it, and make something that can exist in real space. And like that's what we have today. That's what we had last week. That's what we had today, and I'm excited to get into it. So let's check this out. I think this one's going to be shorter than last week's. So the second one that I had for last week, I have queued up to go after this one. If I stop talking and we start playing, then maybe we'll actually get to it. Okay, I click this. Now we have all the noises. That was a start for sure. We want to go to this screen. Okay. Almost remembering everything. Right. If this is your first time joining us, we are here for the exploration, not the challenge. So we play on the easiest skill level, and if something happens, let's say we get stuck against a puzzle that seems broken, or a fight that is just ridiculously hard and not fun, then we'll turn on whatever cheats or whatever that we have to in order to get past it. So let's jump in. Oh, I got this new chair. It's got armrests. I'm still not totally sure. The last couple of chairs, I just tore the armrests off. So, all right, we're in a hole. Chain gun start. Okay. Oh, there's somebody right there, and that's a chain gunner, and that's a plasma gun. So do they want us to run forward with it, or just... Is this symmetrical? It's symmetrical. That was a lot. Oh, hey. We got boys down there. I didn't want to go down yet. Well, we're down yet. If I go down, I have to deal with them as well. Up here, I only got to worry about the cacos. Fall down. Fall down. And I don't think I've put much damage on you, so we gotta... Okay, there we go. Right, boys. I do love this balcony. Like, sort of a, you know, this sort of no-nothing start. Then we come up to this balcony, which is, like, so interesting because we don't have a great view. Actually, looking down, there's, like, not much to get a view of, but, like, we get this sense of space. We get this view of a room that is bigger without actually getting a good view of anything in it. And that's neat. And there's not really anything up here anyway, huh? Alright. Ow. You? Okay, that makes sense. Just clear everybody out for good measure. Alright. I would love that. That seems to be a way... Here we go. Give me these. Wah! That's fine. I didn't want to be up there anyway. Alright, so walk around this. Sure. Sure. Really? Whoop. They're just trapped down there, huh? Okay, so I could stay up here and keep the high ground and try to, like, just ping them that way. Because it sounds like there's two. Or... But the thing is, if I stay up here, there's very little high ground, so I lose my ability to juke back and forth to dodge shots. Or I jump down in there with them, be trapped, but have a little more room to dance. Does this just drop that? That just drops that. Ooh, can I get one to... There we go. I kind of like this look here, right? Because, like, this is... Like, the one way of looking at it is that that is a lower hallway, right? Like, from the ground. And with this weird, like, pillar filling it up. But also, it's just, like... This is like a catwalk, almost. Just one that we can't really, go below. But still being so tall and having these channels on the sides. I don't know. This is a real interesting feeling. I feel like there's definitely a you can make a section sort of based on the sort of feel, the vibe of this hallway alone. Hey, you want to come up too? Same plan? All right. Oh. Renzo. Okay. I mean, I do want to touch that. Oh. Oh, okay. Sure. He's so big. It's hard to miss him in this hallway. Oh, I like this room though. Oh, usually, so man, if it feels like a fancy office, right? This is kind of the vibe I go for when I want like I I do a lot of math with office buildings because I like the vibe of a big fancy office. Big windows, like a decent room, usually something in the middle. This one just had him standing in it, and then here's our. What? I like that. I like a juke exit. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little upsetting because, again, we are playing in Doom. Doom has a certain language to it, and that language is the exit might have a sign, definitely has the door, and then there's like a button or something behind the door, and that's the end of the level, right? Heck, that's, it was so established in Doom, Duke 3D did that. I want to say, like, how did Quake do it? Quake usually had like a big gate or a slip gate at the end of each level. And in a way where it was very clear, like, no, this is the language of what our exit doors look like. They kind of just skipped the button at the end. But it wasn't until, like, to my mind, like, no, it was probably before Half-Life. But Half-Life was the first one that I saw where it was definitely like, we don't have discrete level end mechanisms and buttons, because it was all very no, I guess Quake 2. Yeah, no, because I was gonna say it was something like from Quake 2. Quake 2 had that sort of like hub feeling going all along. Yesterday's coffee, I love it. So it's a little weird to do it in Doom, in a Doom WAD, but I kind of like it because it does, depending on how you do it, it does have that like an intermission kind of feeling. Like when you end the level on the level end, there is a sense of finality to it, right? There's a sense of, I can bring it back to this screen. I can bring it back to this screen for now. There's a sense of finality to it, and there's a sense of like there's a this music brings me back. There's a sense of finality to it, and there's a sense of like, this is the end, this is where it's going to end, this is where it's over. Cool. All right, good. Done. That level, box up what you thought about that level, put it on the shelf. But in something like that, there's this weird like intermission, because it's like, if it gives you an action and your action doesn't end the level, but the level ends before you're about to take an action, it's kind of like a cliffhanger, right? You don't have that sense of what's the word I'm looking for? Completion, satisfaction, closure. You don't have like a closure to your like personal feeling of like, I see the action to do, I picture how to do it, I follow through on the action. If you see what to do and then you picture it, but you don't get that full follow through, it feels incomplete. And then I guess it makes it feel like, oh wait, there's more to do now though, right? Like, so again, for a WAD based on a dream, that is so much the feeling of a dream. Do you know what I mean? All right, let's talk about that level in terms of being a dream, because like, it was very short. I find dreams to be more like, when I think of something based on a dream, I think of a lot of loose ends, like a lot of ideas sort of like brought up, a lot of seeds planted, and then, maybe following through on one of them to get you to like the next act, and then do it again, and then really at the very end of it, like, nothing ever closes, right? That's sort of the feeling of a dream to me, is it's just like, it spreads out forever and it keeps introducing ideas, and then they're just forgotten about in ways that can, like, they leave lots of questions open, right? That one, that ending definitely had to think about, like, oh, yellow key, what's the yellow key going to open up? I didn't even realize that, like, I had not seen a yellow door. And then you get the yellow key says there is a piece to do next. and that's where it ends, and that's the end of it, and that's waking up, 5 minutes before your alarm, just going like, no, but wait, where does the yellow key go? And then the alarm goes off, and then you go make your coffee, and whatever. But actually, that's really good. It's a really good feeling. That really captures the feeling of a dream. Oh, I'm so impressed by that. Like, everything about last week's level was really good, but that moment right there, just that hit me right here. I am physically reeling from that inside right now. The rest of it didn't really have that loose end feeling. It was very short. It was very like, it did kind of have a feeling of like, here are just like pieces, forms of ideas just sort of butted into each other. Did have kind of a build to it, which was honestly unusual, if you ask me, for like a dream. Like it had like a build. A dream can go like yeah and do whatever. That like ended on a boss fight. It had a build of enemy strength. It was just extremely short, and it was very linear in a way, right? So it was linear in like a staccato. Is that kind of what I want to put here? It was linear in a way that just like it was just pieces butted together without a sense of flow, but it didn't have that loose end feeling. There weren't like, a loose end feeling in a Doom level. Show me. So I've talked about this before, I think. I talk about the same things all the time. It's cool. It's fine. You've probably heard this. But if you like put a window, then you think like, oh, there's something to see behind this. This could be a set piece. This could be, but when it's foreshadowing, it is something that you will get to later. And a part of a way to know that you will be able to get there is to put a pickup, right? You just be like, oh, there's a backpack behind this window. If they put something that I could pick up, I must be able to pick it up. Like that is very, like I feel like that is very accepted in like the Doom community because of the idea of like 100% item complete runs, and people get mad if you can't kill every enemy or whatever. But even in like video games as a whole, the idea of if you can, and if like there are not, and I don't know if this is like a function of like keeping players happy, or if it is just a function of like available developer energy, but it is unusually rare. I'm struggling to think of any, but the rarity of placing something that the player could interact with that the player cannot interact with. You know what I mean? Placing a pickup in an impossible location, like actually impossible location. Usually that's like if you put it there, that is the sign that says you can figure out how to get here. If you don't know how to get here, you just haven't figured it out yet. But so if you're looking to tie this back around, if you're looking to make that dream feeling, the idea of building locations that seem reachable but then never are, that's a big dream feeling, because that's planting that seed of like, here's something that you could go check out. The dream has no interest in checking that out, and you never deal with it, Yes, in the chat, thank you. Exhausting a game is like exhausting a game is also a weird thing, right? Because like I don't like it's this weird thing. I don't think people like to exhaust a game. I think people like to discover new things. But the thing is, like, games are crafted. Games have like finite boundaries. Sometimes it goes into, you know, so like if you are enjoying the act of discovery, you will continue to do that, like an addiction, right? And you will do that until it is exhausted. Exhaustion exhaust like saturation, but taking things out. Desaturation, wringing it dry, whatever. Like, you will get there, but that is as a byproduct of wanting to find new things. But like, it's not satisfying when you run out of things. That's like the least satisfying part, isn't it? To say, there was nothing new that I will ever discover. That sounds like the worst. But the act of finding new, and like in a game, the deepest I figure that can go is like if you start going into like decompiling code and looking for comments. I guess I don't know if comments it might vary based on language or whatever, but like I don't. The whole reason is comment is because like it's ignored by the compiler because it's not code, it's not language, it's not code language. So a comment probably, if you decompile something, that means turning it from like the machine language back into parsable code language or human parsable code language. And if the compiler threw out the comments, then they would not come back at that point. Anyway, that's getting onto something else. But like reading comments in code, that is like the last thing to discover about a game, right? Because that's at that point you are going so far beyond the bounds of playing the game, but the verb you're still engaging with is like exploring the pieces of a game. You know, it's like cutting a golf ball in half on a bandsaw. You're not playing golf anymore, right? It is still golf adjacent, but you're not playing golf at that point. But you are like exploring and discovering. You're still learning though. You're sort of learning about golf, but so far removed from the act of playing golf. You know. By the way, I've done that before. Filled with like shredded rubber bands and a weird goo. And also, it's under pressure, so you end up with shredded rubber bands and weird goo on your ceiling. We've all been there. All right, I'm going to bring the game down for a minute, and I want you all to stick with me as I try and ramble and type at the same time, because we are going to go... Uh-oh, that's not good when the program doesn't respond. We're going to... I have a second WAD in mind. That was our dream WAD. And I have another WAD in mind, but I need to... Well, okay, basically I need to update the lower third that you just saw this appear. And I'm going to try... You ever try to deal with words while you are dealing with words? Like, writing and speaking different things are so... it is so hard to do because you kind of only have one language center of your brain, right? And so to be able to do it at all is really, I find it quite impressive. Okay, so excuse me, this day old coffee's giving me the burpees. The second one the second one I picked out for last week that we're playing today is called Null Space. So I played Castle of Eternal Carrot. Still a pretty good name. That was like a castle in the void. So this is Null Space. This is another building in the void, is my understanding. So I really want to get right into this. Oh, those are some custom textures. Oh, I like this. This is like already ominous. All right. Shotgun start. Hey, this is that narrative storytelling you hear about. There was already a fight here that we're like coming in behind. Which is good. That's very true to do. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. That is a void out there. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. It's not good for a screenshot. Fall down. I do want to talk about this room for a minute because oh my gosh, this detailing of the layered. Boy, how do you think of this? What do you have to do to make this come to mind? Because we have these stone slabs over this like cobblestone. and it looks really good. Like, you know, clearly the slabs have been cut to the slabs. Um, it's not very thick. If anything, it is the biggest contrast isn't like anything about the size of it, but just the cleanliness. Like the this has a lot of darker breakups. This is a very broken up texture. This has cracks on it, but it's mostly like solid with cracks. This is like cracks with solids. Hi, why were you here? Oh, you finally made it over. Cool. But it's really nice. It's all stone. It's all gray, but it is a layering of materials. Yeah, I'm examining over here. Also, just gosh, wow, the freaking that is comparing. That feels like it is like smaller than a foot square if this was like a real life object that has this detail of this connection. But man, detailed. All right, let's. Oh, I love this. I love where this isn't. This doesn't seem to be anywhere. Not even a sky. When you don't even have a skybox, you know you're nowhere. You. If you don't even have a skybox, you might be a void walker. I don't. Oh, hi. Oh. Okay. Actually, I'm worried because if this level is mainly what we see here, then no, it looks like it stretches that way. I'm a little worried that the one I played last week might actually end up being the longest one that I had picked out. There's a bunch over there. All right. I really like this. I really like hanging out here in just in a void, you know? Something about this bridge over void. It's so good. We played a lot of Mario inspired levels now. Oh, I like this. I like this pointless little window. It's pointless because we have immediate access to both sides of it, but like, I don't know. Why would you do this? Like, functionally, like, it's just visual, right? Like, it just makes the spaces feel more connected, makes them feel more. It's like a reminder that these spaces are butted together, I guess. I like that. I like that a bunch. Okay. Ooh, really interesting take on a red door. Hang on. Red skull right in the middle of it, but that's a wildly new door. Cool. Hey, y'all, I'm still looking. Kind of what we had in the last level with these gutters on either side, but these gutters go out to the void, and that's kind of unnerving. Like, I have a fear of heights. I couldn't tell you if that applies to void in real life, because like, it's not so much the fall, it's the sudden stop at the end that's really the worry, right? God, and the fact that this is all cobble, that like yes, cobble is sort of like a man-made structure, but oh hey folks, hi. Like cobble's a man-made structure, but this definitely makes it feel more like like hewn into a cave. We'll explore that room later because this is definitely, you know, the stone walls with the clearly man-made wood, not just man-made but processed. There's something about cobble that is unprocessed. That's maybe the best way to say it. I'm thinking we should check out this other side first. Shoot. Whew. Okay, handled. Does this look familiar? This looks familiar. Why does this look so familiar? Okay, not a real... Oh, wait. Aha! Why? Why separate that? Also, am I unlocking shortcuts here? Oh, man. Oh, hey, this is mossy cobble, so there must be a spawner nearby. Oh, man, there's like... Oh, hey, and now we've wrapped back around here. Cool. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that quite. No, because he's just a knight, not a baron. They are pretty trapped in here. So as long as I keep doing my 2D juking, which I seem to be failing on. Okay, let's talk about this room for a moment, because, oh my gosh. That's a very pretty texture. How would stained glass work when we're in like a endlessly dark void? But yeah, these pillars, the detail at the top and bottom of these pillars, ooh, that is nice. Adds like a nice visual texture and contrast to the room because it's striped now. This is kind of like a nice like a chamber. Is this kind of a chamber? It's got the beveled corners like that. Ooh, this is a nice room. You are too far away to efficiently engage at this distance with this weapon. Oh, that's getting there. Okay. There we go. I know who that sounds like. That sounds like my friendly orb boy. You're a baron. I'll leave you for later. You're gonna chase me. Cool. I'm happy to fight you somewhere else. So now... Wait, this is somewhere else I haven't been? Just keep them lined up, and they can shoot each other in the back of the head. Or I'll just spend all my ammo on it. Whatever. Survival horror be damned. How are we feeling? We're fine. So... I have no idea where I am now. I would like this. Oh, we're down here. You look creepy. You look like you're going to shoot an arrow at me. This dude over here looked like an arrow trap. Alright. I can fight you with one of these. This feels like... Alright. And I can't hit this because I don't have a yellow... I don't even have a yellow key? Alright. Let's come back out to this room. This room has 2 exits. I think this is the one that's going to go by the green. Okay. It seems like it should be a little weird that the rooms that share this like material fit, like mixed material design aesthetic. Like, I feel like they should be butted directly together, but they're not. Like that should be like everything with this sort of texture should be like in the same zone, you would think, right? But it's not, because we have this whole room in between, which has its own feel, and we have these hallways that have their own feel. So they're kind of sprinkling and mixing the rooms. That might be. Oh my gosh! Now I have low tier hiccups. Yeah, let's finally press. No, we pressed that. Let's press this button. This is probably going to be right to the key. I stopped right before the key. I did. Sure I did. Oh, you notice how it was on a little pedestal to make sure you could see it from below? Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so now we have the red key. What is that? What does that help us know about? I wish I hadn't picked up the armor yet, because that's a nice screenshot. Red key, red key, red key. You know what? Let's go the other way. Because that was pretty much a shortcut to the green zone. Because here's the first red key that I remember seeing. Okay. I can hit this. And it does something. Okay. All of these, like, imp turrets are pretty good because they're not chain gunners, so they're not here to, like, pressure you into moving. Or they are here to pressure you into moving, but not necessarily, like... But they're not a hard threat. It's just, hey, you should be going is what you should be doing. Alright, I'll take this stuff now. And I should hit this, and we should actually leave this time. What? Okay, and here we are here. So that was the backside of that door that I didn't quite understand before. So where was the other red key door? Somebody's right here. Somebody's right here. Yeah, there's room for that. Okay. Boy, this is a nice, confusing map. Alright, so down here looks like it was the entrance. Then we come up. We went over to that side. Button. Here, wait, I can zoom in. Let me show you what I'm looking at. Because we started down here, right? Up, armor on the right side. Up over here, the initial fork. This fork, we go this way, we hit the button, we come up and get the red key. Then we went through this fork, come over here, we got this big fight arena, come around here to the back side. Now, the other side of that fork went here. So this also makes like a diamond, because this forked, and then both of these rooms forked again. That way to the battle arena, this way over here to the green room. And then these are going to fork again. Oh, and then to the yellow switch. That's the only thing we really haven't hit yet. Okay, good. So we've seen like the whole thing. Clearly a bunch of like staircases that are only half revealed, but I now know for sure the thing to do is hit this. Hey. Hey, guy. So I'm going down, big guy. Ow. 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 Could we not, with the hitting me in the face with the fireballs from your face? All right, so this opened. Now that I have a map in my brain, I do want to check the other zones real quick, because, like, there's a thing back there. I would love to get to that thing. Oh, look, and there's a... Oh! Oh! Oh-ho! Thank you. Oh! And now somebody came out from that way, which was behind us. So, oh, hey. Now, was this because of the secret I just unlocked, or from hitting the yellow switch, right? So normally we would go that way. This is the news closet. This is just a closet. This is a supply closet. You can tell because it's a small room off to the side full of supplies. Checked all of this, right? Because this is just gonna... I kind of appreciate this airlock elevator. All manual. Alright, so we did that. We hit the yellow switch, so let's check the arena again. Let's not check the arena again. Because there's still those turrets, but that's okay, because we can get to the other side of it going here. And you're telling me this is the way up here that wraps around to here. So... okay, but you're also telling me this room has... here, this one? Hello? Okay. That's a pretty good secret. Check the map to reveal secrets. Oh, hello. Okay. De doble. I really like this, because it's an alleyway, right? Because it's a path that is open on top, but tall walls on either side. And to me, that is like, you know, City Boy. That's an alleyway between two buildings in the middle of a city block. That's what it feels like. But the fact that it is also like a curved staircase going up, like, I actually really like the feel of this hallway. We hit that button down here. All right. I do love secrets within secrets. So, fan of this room all of a sudden. Right? Okay, so we got that, we got that, we got that. There's something over there. Where do we think that secret starts from? So I would look maybe something like this. There's something like right... oh! Oh! Hello! Aha! Aha! Oh, hey, buddy! And you explode into three little guys who also immediately exploded. Alright, so where does this go? This wasn't even what I was looking for. But you see, that's pretty... so, okay. Tuck this in the corner to hide it. Like it... we see it in the rest of the room so that it is like a... it is like an established piece of texture. But the fact that it's the one tucked on the inside corner where, like, the only way you come through this room is, like, straight, and then you curve left, and you see the doorway, and your sight locks onto that. So the fact that this is just, like, you need to stop and check out this, like a useless corner, and that's exactly where the secret is. That's smart. I like how the secrets are opening nearby switches, and then the switches are the real reveal. Like, it's a weird, like, two-step, right? It's like a chain scavenger hunt. It's like Die Hard 3. But I don't know, just the fact that, like, I think I like it because the idea that, like, a switch was hidden here and you didn't realize it is, like, I kind of like just being shown that, right? I like being shown that, like, hey, this thing that you saw and didn't think about, there was more to it, you know? We were just talking in the intermission, I guess we can call it that. We were just talking about, like, you know, see, but it's like a weird one, though, because it's not like we could have found that switch on its own, right? It's not like there was this thing left to explore and that just showed us to it. It was the second piece. It was just like, hey, this thing, like, it's sort of a recontextualization, but it's also just sort of like expanding. It's like adding. It's like, hey, we took this thing that you assumed was meaningless and gave it meaning, and new meaning was discovered. And what, not discovered, but revealed. Revealed is a different verb. I'm gonna have to chew on that one for a while. Oh, I guess we could have seen that from somewhere? Okay, cool. I don't remember seeing it. Oh, hey, big boy. Did you come out of a door or did you just appear? Again, not too long ago, I was talking about the difference in which one I prefer. You just appeared, huh? Shame. Oh, I could set up like a switchboard that I hit it, and instead of just playing an audio track, I could have a pop-up a GIF on the stream. So I could use like reaction GIFs on a soundboard switchboard while I'm on video and live. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's dumb. All right. Hey, let's check out. Oh, okay. I would have seen it right there. I guess I didn't even come this far. I did. Something came out because the big boy was there, and something came around the corner, and that looks like the Game Boy cartridge for Castlevania, if they had gone real cool with it. Whoop! Not a door. Very never fire the super shotgun at me or my kids ever again mood on that. Oh, they're gonna do stuff, huh? Okay, can we go through here? No. Oh, you're everywhere. Alright, let's not be in this room. Okay, you two are fighting. Oh, there's one down there. Okay, here's the thing though. This big bridge is rad as hell right here. That might be the busiest thumbnail we have because there are lots of projectiles on screen. Oh, cackles are gonna go fight imps. Good. But enough talk. Have at you. Okay. This one looks like a little reprieve after you just got through the big... Oh, there's a thing in there. Look at the detail on this window. The little bent edges, the separate material for the frame. The fact that the whole thing moved, and moving platforms make a noise, which also helps, but the fact that the whole thing moved to draw your attention to it while you were here, and it's also kind of an arrow too, but like while you were here in the place you can see it from, and it made a noise to draw your attention, and it's so detailed, like that's knowing where to put your energy, you know, to where to put your effort to not waste it. If I do that. Oh, good. You know what I haven't done yet? Well, if I just name it Void, will I confuse myself later? So here's the thing that's cool to me. One of the like sort of self-applied restraints of this map is that this would actually run in vanilla Doom 2, which is like really impressive for like being this cool. Period. New clause. But apparently like parts of it had to be like cut down near the end because it was like running into like memory limitations and stuff. But one of the things about it is if this map will run in vanilla Doom 2, like original DOS installation Doom 2. but saving will break because the level is so large that it can like run in active memory, but the data it needs to save is too big and causes a crash if you go to save it. But as long as you don't save, it runs fine. This is a fix that, of course, we're running in GZ Doom, which has had memory issues like that addressed, let's say. Addressed is more vague than fixed, so... Oh, there's a little guy. Oh, there's two little guys. Okay. I just think that's... Listen, y'all, computers are so fiddly. Computers are rocks that we have taught how to speak, how to think, how to remember, if nothing else. Hey, this room is really cool, actually. Well, because like it's a courtyard, but it's a half-cover courtyard, and we got these really cool wood pedestals again. Columns. I do like the mixing here, where it has the stone base. Oh, you? Oh, hello. I hit spacebar, I guess, to dodge roll? What game did I think I was playing? Oh, hey, it's the thing. That's not good. That's not good. Didn't even have to throw a monster at me. Just lock the door behind me. I say, here's this thing you want. Don't you want to go touch it? By the way, you're locked in. Don't you want to go touch it? I do want to go touch it. Let me touch. This is kind of another supply closet. All right. Oh boy. Oh boy. I didn't even notice that wall opened. It's okay, we're playing on easy. Weehaw! These guys take... Oh, I thought they took 4. He took 2. Okay, never mind. Teleports are still happening somewhere. I still got that good armor. Oh! Where did you... I don't think you could have fit through this hallway, dog. Oh, I think it sucked everybody out of these cages. Right. Here. Here's a drinking game. Every time you see me pause to take a screenshot, take a shot. Don't. Folks, don't take shots. Folks. Folks, I have opinions on drinking. I don't think I'm a prude or anything, but I just ask that you ask yourself that if you're doing an activity that you think is improved by like dulling your senses and sense of experience of that activity, then why are you doing it? That's it. Answer that for me, and I don't care what you do. Just stop and think about things like this first. That's all I ask, really. I had a job working at a Tommy Hilfiger workhouse? No, not like a sweatshop, like a warehouse. You don't wear it, and it's not a house. Oof, that was curious. Is there stuff that I'm forgetting to explore? Yeah, I'm enjoying this level, but I'm definitely like thinking about it less and less because it's got a very like it's interesting, right? This level has very good set pieces here, right? And is clearly aware of things like sightlines, but even thinking about like a thing like this is a wide open area, but you look from one wall to another wall, so it doesn't actually have like sight lines between adjacent points. The wide open area where sight lines could be is the set piece, there's not a lot of visual connecting lines. It's a lot of these enclosed rooms butted up against enclosed rooms butted up against enclosed rooms with enclosed hallways. The opening was a little better. It's funny. The readme, the author's notes, the author's comments was actually saying that like they thought that the opening area was not as interesting because everything was like so everything before this they said it's made up of 4 areas, and like there's the everything over there, then this connecting bridge, everything over there, and the fight arena, then this connecting bridge, and then the like there's a bit more or something, but or this bridge connects 2 and 3, right? And they were saying that they thought that this first area was like a little lamer because it's the I guess it was some of the first stuff that they built, and they felt that it felt more boxy and like uninteresting visually. But honestly, if we go back to here, if we go back to like even just this bit, right? Like, yes, the rooms are more square, they're not as detailed, but this stuff has sight lines. Like here we already see the green. Here we see, I don't even know if that's real I don't think that's real geometry over there. I think that's just like space filling geometry. But over here, we see another branch that we're going to get to over there. From here, we can see a branch where we've been and a branch where we're going to be, right? And then we come over here and we have the window to the red key. We have the hallway of this fork, and we still get a glimpse of the fork that we just passed up. So like in terms of visual, whoa, that's scary. In terms of like, not visual pathing, but like, yes, the individual rooms are maybe a little simpler in form, but is this new? No, this is just the way to go. Okay. The like rooms have less detailing, sure, but other rooms are being used as visuals for other, like rooms have better like visual interaction, I guess is maybe the way to think about it. Like you can see other rooms from this room. These rooms, each individual room is, on this side of the divide so far, like each room has been like, just look at this, like more visually detailed, more thought about like, okay, what are our materials? How do they interact? What materials would you use where? There's like a little more consistency and maybe realization of the materialness and detail of each individual room. But I'm also getting lost easier because it's just like I can't see other rooms. Like now that each room is a set piece, we've given up on, like seeing rooms from other rooms and having a connected feeling. Everything feels more everything feels like it's like, oh, because it can stand on its own, let's keep it all separate. Instead of like, I will take a less detailed room where like, I mean, heck, you could go watch that Polygon video that Simone did which was about like, hey, it was about oh, we do have a blue key now. Okay. But it was about like advanced techniques for decorating Animal Crossing rooms, and like one of the principles in there was you might only be working in like one huge living room, right? But you can still divide the spaces. You can sort of like subdivide a space into smaller. You can how do I want to say this? First of all, you should go watch the video. Maybe I'll link it below. I don't know. Can I add a title? Can I add one of these things to a video from a different channel? If I can, it'll pop up when I said these things. And if I can, I'm going to put one here to go to something else on my channel that I enjoy and I think you should watch. Technology is cool. Like paper walls, right? Like you can just have one big room. Or what was it? The big one was rugs. So like if you take a room and it's big enough that you can lay 2 rugs in it, then like each rug sort of defines a boundary of floor space. So you can have like one room that is like, okay, well, like here's our conversation pit area, and here's our, oh, I'm out of rockets. Oh, but I don't want to deal with these guys. I don't want to deal with ones that are loose. I don't like loose bones. But you can do that, right? You can say like room defining walls don't yeah, I don't really know like the keystone concept sentence of this concept, but like subdivide your spaces, but they can be open to each other, right? Somebody's shooting me. Oh, they're shooting each other. Good. You can't. Where am I going? Oh boy. Hang on. What? Anyway. Okay, find me a quiet spot. I need to get my thoughts together on this. I'm talking about Animal Crossing rooms. I'm talking about dividing spaces. I'm talking about... No, the armor I have is technically better. Blue armor is actually better than green armor. So, like... if I pick up the green armor, it'll give me more armor of a lesser quality. this is something I never knew about Doom until like the last couple of years. You know, more than 10 years after the game came out, and I'm learning things about how the game works. I don't know if it gives like a sort of cozy feeling or what, but the idea of like, if you take a room and you subdivide it without like fully closing it off, like you don't necessarily have to erect full walls, you know, but you can create like distinct zones within a space. And it works, I guess, is the main point. But like it's also a way to sort of like your brain can categorize it, right? Because it's like okay, well no, this is this room, but here are the 3 zones within the room, and so there's a built-in like relationship between those 3 zones because they're all in the same room, right? And there will probably be a visual connection, and I really have no idea where I am anymore. Okay. This room. What is this room? Or we could even talk about like I'm just gonna hit this because great. Could you not? This is like a nice zone for a fight though. I hit the blue switch. Let's go here. Oh right. Or so like you can give rooms that sort of like interaction that mentally causes you to connect them, even by just letting the rooms inform each other, you know? So like if okay, like blank plane, we put a big box on it and we put a room in a box. So they're suddenly related because even at like the most basic, outside we see the box and we see like the exterior of the room. And then inside, the interior of that room is defined by the exterior shape. Unless it's, you know, like a TARDIS kind of thing going on, right? Like you could do that, but that immediately makes them harder to map together and, you know, say like, oh, these are connected, these are related. They feel more unrelated. But when you have something like, oh, this square room is square because it's inside of a square box, then when you're in the space with the square box and when you're inside the space that is shaped like a square, you map them together of like, oh no, inside, outside, these are related, right? But like if we look at the map over here, like these are definitely like separated rooms that have their own spaces that like they kind of have related shapes, but not in a way where they inform each other, just where they're sort of being, and then that one's weird too. Like they share details, they share themes, but they're not informing one another. Like we could probably switch like the locations, like just like swap locations of some of these, and it would feel about the same, right? So it's kind of the same way that I feel about the scenes in The Dark Knight. Okay, cool. But like they don't really inform individually. They're all like well made, well thought out, look good, good detailing, good like just this bit right here, like differences in ceiling heights and materials and layering and props, and like this is all really good. But in terms of how this fits into the map overall, just like this could be anywhere. There's nothing about this space or the spaces around it that inform one another, and so it's really hard to form that mental map. Or even just like, okay, imagine your okay, our high school and middle school had those big collapsible walls that would cut the entire gymnasium in half, right? But here's the thing about that. There's still what you end up with in that, like, imagine that, if you would. So what you get is like 2 rooms, 3 walls that are standard gym fare, and then 1 like accent wall that is like your cheap beige whatever, right? But sort of whichever one you're in, your brain is already mapping that room to the other one, because oh, here is the cheap wall. The other side of that cheap wall is the cheap wall of the other part of the room, and that they're like mirrored. Which side those rooms are connected on. It'd be weird if you had cheap wall, 3 sides of a gym, walk through a gym wall, and then you came out on facing the other cheap wall. That would not make sense. But the fact that like shared materials that are unique to the border between 2 rooms gives you that information of like, here's where these 2 rooms are connected. Here's what's shared about them. Sometimes, but that also doesn't have to be like an opaque wall. Like usually we see that and it's like, oh, a window. And we see the window on this side and we see the window on that side. And like, yes, we also see because it's a window, we see the geometry through the window, but just like, even if it was like a window of like opaque, some sort of like opaque texture, if it's shared and the only place that it is seen in that one location, that becomes a landmark that whichever side you see it from, you recognize, oh, that's where it is. Same size, same shape, same orientation, you get it. That's where those 2 rooms are connected on that, right? Heck, if it's opaque, then you do the police interrogation room kind of thing, where it's like, here's the big window, here's a matching big window on the other side. They're both opaque. So you're inside the room and you see the window, you're outside the room and you see the window, and you're just like, oh, these are where these are connected. But really, there's a secret room in between that you may not know about unless you then examine further and say like, oh, there's like a hallway over here, and not just like there is an unaccounted for space, even though we see this like we see the connection, we map out the inherent connection, but then there's still something to account for a space, right? Oh, that's cool. This feels very different from everything else. I didn't even explore everything over here before I touched the big glowing teleporter, which is rad as hell. Just because that feels like either just the exit or there's a big boss fight on the other side of it, right? Okay, so here's a zone that I apparently have not seen all of and have barely been through. And I want to be clear, this level isn't bad by any stretch, and like I'm harping on this one aspect because it's kind of the only aspect that I have feedback on. Everything else I think is fine, I think is good. But in terms, like, what I try to do is I try to deliver like critical insight, and the part that has a problem is like the only part that I can think of like critical thoughts on, because everything else is just like, good, great, love it, perfect, you did great. Again, like the detailing in the individual rooms, like I can call out and be like, I think having the faces up there is great, even though the way that it wraps around and the textures are good. Like, I can say that, I can call it out. I try to call these things out because we should call out the positives in life. They exist. But like, if I start talking about bad things, I can have more to say, because I can talk about like, well, why is it wrong? What can we do to fix it? What can we do to fix something is a much richer conversation topic than this thing is good, because that is sort of the entirety of that conversation, right? Okay. 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 Oh, cat's back. All right, I'm glad I checked this room out because technically this room was optional, but it did have power up in it. So I'm glad I guess that's reward for exploring, I guess. You know, I think we have every weapon but the BFG now, so I wonder if that's actually in here somewhere in a deeper secret. All right, let's get out of here. Yeah. So listen, Friday now. Hang on. Hi. Where was I? Talking about positives, talking about negatives, talking about... Yeah. Right, because that's like the double-edged sword. Because, like, you end up focusing on negatives because there's often more to say about negatives. It's just like, because you can talk about negatives and you talk about what's wrong and how do we fix it and why is it wrong and how do you stop it from happening and how do you get around it next time. But when something is good, it's, you know, no news is good news. And there's the two sides of it. There's like, if there is news to share, then something bad has happened. But also, like, if there is no news, then that's a good sign. If you don't have anything to say, there's like kind of just always more to say about bad things than about good things, which sucks, but that's kind of just how people work. But that means that when you don't hear stuff, that's usually a good sign. That's why I'm never afraid to just be quiet when everything's fine, you know? All right, let's hit this before I think too hard. Okay, we've gone somewhere. Hey! Speak of the devil. My mic is still working, right? Good, 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 good. See? Now I'm glad that I didn't fire any plasma shots before. So I'll have like a whole 4 shots with the BFG? 12 shots? No. How many does a BFG shot take? It's a lot. I know that. Ooh. Nice asymmetry out here. Oh, yeah, because we didn't even come into the center. We came in asymmetrically. That's nice. Same thing. Asymmetry helps. Asymmetry makes sides unique, makes reflections not truly reflections. So then can't get confused between reflections if they're not truly reflections, you know? Alright, I'm gonna push the button. Okay. So I guess this is going to be like a wave boss arena, but at least it's giving me the manual start per wave. And each wave also delivers supplies, so that's fun. Oh, do they count as like the same species for deciding infighting? That'd be interesting. Yeah, he just hit him, and he didn't turn around to go at him. Boy, I wonder where that's determined then. Because, like, I thought... Like, is that like a Z Doom thing, maybe? Or is that like a change that came about with Doom 2? Because I thought that was like a limitation of the engine, is that it just like couldn't like notice infighting amongst the same enemy type. But if it's, you know, Barons and Knights are different. Just full stop. So if they can figure out how not to, like, technically that's cross species, so if that can happen, then like, is it a separate trigger? Is it like a bit flag kind of thing that they figured out when they set aside the space to add new enemies for 2? Is it... See, again, maybe it's just me, but I definitely... Ooh, okay. I definitely like this more than a... Oh, good. I think the armor shards brought my blue back over 100, so I didn't grab that bad green just now. All right, thank you, shards. I like a wave-based boss fight like this, right? Because, like... If you have a slaughter map and part of the, like, tactics of it is to rely on infighting, then, like... Again, the ideal is to not interact. Like, that's salty bet. You know? That's accurate battle simulator, which... there's fun in that, but that's not what I come to Doom for. But, like, you know, if you limit your waves, if you know, if you come up with like interesting mixes that are balanced such that you do have to deal with it and not just like open the floodgate and deal with what's left. Find a place to hide. Finding a place to hide isn't bad. That idea of just like, okay, all of the walls just opened up. Now I need to like pick a group to kite out of an area and then use that area as a foothold, right? But same thing. Why release 90 enemies if I'm only going to fight like 20 of them when it's all said and done, right? Just release the 20 enemies. That's less work, that's less memory, that's less, like, that's as much challenge but less chaos, and you can actually pick more about how that wave occurs and, like, make it more challenging, make it dependent on, like, the space, because you don't need to create a space that just holds 90 enemies, you only need to hold 20. Hate these little guys. Enemies whom themselves are projectiles. Lost souls. Hodobos. The bikers from Streets of Rage 2. Boy, part of the super shoddy is that it has vertical spread, huh? Which means that like it's like even if you get close to like it's not just a wider spread. So like you still need that closeness, but like you don't even get like a. It's not even necessarily better for huge groups, unless they're tall groups. Better call tall brackets groups. Ow. Okay. Alrighty. You know, I do kind of wish I had emotes. But only because I do value, like, nonverbal communication. And an emote is a way to express something without technically using words. I suppose technically they're glyphs. Kanji are the original memes. Is this anything? Hieroglyphs. Excuse. What's older, hieroglyphs or like Chinese alphabet?
That's a good question. I don't know much about Chinese history.
Right. I know Chinese history is old. But
I just say hieroglyphs specifically because they were like pictures specifically.
Right. Well, I'm definitely thinking of like the like word alphabet. You know what I mean? Where it's not per
sound, it's per concept.
Yes. So you could be like man walk store, right?
Yeah.
We literally have emojis for those. So like I guess emoji is kind of its own. I don't know if it's its own alphabet, but it's definitely, or I don't know if it's its own language, but it's definitely its own like conceptual alphabet, right?
Yeah.
And but it's also like the way we add to it is very just like first we look for concepts that become mimetic on their own and like have that lasting value, and then they are added to the alphabet. We're still on 26 letters, so that's that old shit. Although I don't know, what about like X prime? Is X prime a different letter?
I mean, okay, so the alphabet having 26 letters is fairly recent.
You're too far from the mic. We should have this. I need to get you one of those like push to talk button mics so you can just jump in and we make sure you're heard. But like,
Yeah.
listen. Hey, why is this getting a little chuggy now? Oh, you look new. Oh, wait, that's the way we came in. Oh, okay. So I guess once you unleash this wave, that button comes up, that opens. That actually means that you're done, because what that has unlocked is our ability to go backtrack through the earlier sections of the level now. There's more! Well, I guess you would want the ones around the curve to not wake when you shoot the first ones before you even get in there. Because otherwise, if there's a Baron behind it, he's just going to eat them from behind. Oh, we going down. Oh, goodbye, y'all. We going down. Ceiling switches. Okay. Ah. See, this is what I was looking for. This is very much continuing that feeling of Eternal Carrot. We're just in a void, stuff hanging off the bottom of void structures. Hey, what's up with this tower? Hey, what's up with this face tower? Oh, this must be like Apple's FaceTime server. Touching this better be the exit, because I'm not allowed to do any more after that one. Whoop! Uh-oh. 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 I've heard of you. What? Sucks. Okay. I like that one. That one was pretty good. That one, I gotta look. This was from around 2000, 2001, I believe. I think. I have it at the bottom. Yeah, this is from 2001. So, like I said, the rooms as set pieces, detailing work, material construction, layering, like so many good concepts here. The only thing that's wild to me is that, you know, the comments, the author comments say that like the first section of the level is sort of like the boring part, where really I think that one's shows like that opening is so strong in terms of like, you know, windows, foreshadowing, sight lines to later parts of levels, looking at things that you will get to but can't get to, the ability to like create a mental map and see around. Everything else is just like a interior labyrinth that is really hard to build a mental map of, right? But every room is really, really good. So I'm gonna look up this author and see if I can find more recent stuff, because like if they can do everything they did here but bring that, like, you know, the boring first section and sort of roll those like sightline concepts into the rest, these are fantastic maps. You know, that would be like so good, just overall. Also, we really lost that like floating over the void feeling by the end of it. I would play something that is like, all right, if I start talking about the airship from Sonic Adventure. Nope, I'm not getting into that right now. I'm gonna call this a stream. Folks, thank you for joining me. Thank you for hanging out today. You know, I just finished my coffee. I shouldn't be having like brain farts like this, but here we are. I hope you had a good time. I had a good time, and I will catch you next time. And until next time, like we always say, stay home as much as you can. If you do have to go out, wear a mask. Wear a double mask, I hear, but at this rate, just get vaccinated as soon as you can. I know that's been all of its own problems, but that's the solution. Wash your hands more than you already do, which probably isn't as much as it should be already. I say that I have super dry hands, but that's why I have I get some nice satin hands. Ooh. Idle hands are satin's plaything. Recognize power dynamics. You know, side with victims, side with those who are oppressed, give them a voice. Neutrality always sides with the oppressor. And learn to critically recognize who is who in a given situation. And the rule that underlines the rest of these rules is take care of one another. See you next time.